Hello and welcome to Peggy's Tropical Garden. Coming to you from the Florida Keys with a noisy squirrel in the background. Never a dull moment. I'm so excited. I have some plant mail to share with you. I have two packages that I have really been excited to get, one from Etsy and one from eBay. Let's start first with the eBay package. In this box are two items that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I was excited because I found one from a seller. It said it was from Marathon, which is also in the Florida Keys, which is where I am. And I found out that the seller has since moved, so oh well, no big deal. As long as everything turns out okay, right? It's amazing how excited I still get over receiving plants in the mail. I feel like a kid at Christmas. Okay, everything seems to be well packaged for sure. There's nothing flopping around in this box. They have lots of paper in here. All right, here we go. Okay, one of the first things I notice, it's neatly wrapped and the name is written on the paper. Did you see what it was? Still not telling. I want you to be surprised. And here's the name on the other one. Of course, you read it now. Anyhow, it comes with some paperwork, and these are care instructions and information about the business. I always like to get care instructions just in case they have a tip or something that you've never tried. So even if I'm familiar with a plant, I like care instructions. Okay, it's time to unwrap this paper and see what we have here. I was worried if I just rip the paper off, I'll just rip off leaves. And if I'm cutting it, I'm always scared I'm going to cut something. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, I really hope this is in good shape. I really want this to be a perfect plant. Oh my goodness, oh, look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Yes, if you guessed, this is a desert rose, but this is an Adenium arabicum. So it's not an Adenium obesum. So they're short and squat, and they have more leaves and flowers, and I've always wanted one of these. Let me see if I can get this plastic cut off of here without cutting off any parts of the plant. So it was well packaged. You see the plastic is on here around the roots. I guess this is to hold in any soil as well as any moisture. I mean, it is really taped on here like it does not want me to see it. Come on now, show yourself. There's soil coming out. Let me put this on some paper to keep it a little neat. Hey, here she is. Let me give her a good look here. Oh, she looks good. Plenty of roots. Yeah, lots of good, healthy looking roots. Looking to see the plant. The leaves look good. Everything looks to be healthy. Check it over to see if I see any pests or anything like that. Yeah, so that is my first Adenium arabicum, and I'm so excited. I've never had one before. So I can get this plastic back on here a little bit because this one is dropping some soil. Okay, get this one all cleaned up here and move on to the next one. Oh, it just dawned on me. I threw away the paper that has the name of the plant on it. I need that. It is the Adenium Thai Soko Arabicum Goji, and I paid $25 for this one. Stick that under here until I can make a label stick. Okay, and we're on to the next one. I'll go on and tell you this one is also an Adenium arabicum. It's the Snow times Mantra, Siam times Pechiara, something like that. And for this one, I paid $19. On both of these, I should mention that I did do a best offer that was accepted. Again, this one seems to be neatly packaged and labeled on the outside. Oh my goodness, look at this one. I am so excited about these. Look, lots of leaves on it. None of them dropping, no leaves falling off in the packaging. That's pretty good. And again, the bottom has the plastic and it's taped up. Going in with these scissors to try and get this plastic off and see what these roots look like. I like having desert roses in my garden. I have several of them already, and one of the biggest things is they tend to keep their flowers year round in my environment, in my climate, so they're just always so beautiful. Okay, let's see here. This is coming off. Let's take a look at these roots here. These look good too. I mean, of course they're dry, but no problem with that. And they have a little soil on them, but yeah, just on the surface they look pretty good. I don't see any evidence of pests. I don't see any bugs in the packaging. I don't see any damage to the leaves. So at first look, I'm very pleased. I think they have just the regular pink flowers, but I really don't know because I, of course, haven't seen them in bloom. Let's stick that paper with the label on it in there so I don't get the too confused. Overall, I'm pleased with them, but I do notice a little sponginess in the body of the plant, so I'll check that out and let you know. Now this package here is from a seller on Etsy from Fort Myers, and I'm really excited about the plant in here. I just recently became aware of it and decided that I had to have one. I do a lot of plant shopping on Etsy, and I have to admit that a lot of the plants that I end up purchasing are a result of me just browsing Etsy, looking at the different plants and things like that, and becoming aware of new things. So that's how I ended up wanting this one. And as you can see, I'm saying it's potted up nicely. It's packaged very nice and neatly. It comes with, oh, look at that. That's a cute little plant sticker. But anyway, let's see what this is here. It's care instructions on how to take care of this plant because I need them and I have no idea how to take care of this plant. Seems like it's well protected from damage with all the little shredded papers. And let's see, what do we have here? Let me see if I can get this out of here without making a big mess. That'll be all we have here. Do you recognize this? This is a vanilla bean orchid. All I know about this plant at this point is that it is actually where the vanilla spice comes from, and also that it's a vining plant. Other than that, I have no clue. Okay, while I remove this from the packaging, I'll tell you a little bit about the seller. I purchased this on Etsy from a seller called Enchanted Dreamer, and I paid $25 for it, which is pretty much a good price for it for the size. Shipping was free. It's advertised as a 3.5-inch pot, and you get a rooted cutting that is between 4 and 12 inches. And she says if she only has small plants, she'll give you 2, or if you prefer the 2, you can ask for the 2 instead of just the 4 to 12 inch one. That makes sense? Anyway, I opted for the 2 smaller ones. My thinking is if one doesn't make it, odds are the other one will, hopefully. Hey, so far it's looking pretty good. Trying to get all the little pieces of paper off of it from the shredded paper. But it's looking really good. The leaves look nice and healthy. Okay, now she's presentable. Isn't that pretty? And she gets nice little white flowers and everything, but it's a good looking vine. I mean, the leaves are pretty healthy. I see a little bit of damage here. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look like anything active, but I will treat it with a systemic before I introduce it to my other plants. I do that with pretty much all of my plants though. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased. It looks like it's got some new growth coming out of the end here. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty healthy. I'm a firm believer that you have to look at the whole plant to see what kind of condition it's in. So I'm going to go and pot up all of these plants, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Believe it or not, I potted up all 3 of these plants, and I have some concerns about all 3 of them. Okay, I'm going to start with the vanilla orchid. It looks like it has had some pest issues, but I don't know whether or not it's active now. I'm seeing some damage on several of the leaves. The white stuff, don't be concerned about that. That's from the paper. But you can see some pitting and things like that on some of the leaves, which leads me to think that yes, this plant has been through something, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily still going through it. So like I said, I do tend to treat all of my plants because I don't want my whole collection of plants to be infested with anything unnecessarily, so this one will be treated too. Another issue I have with this plant is it was advertised as rooted cuttings. So these are two cuttings, but there are no roots anywhere on this. And I typically don't like to get cuttings that don't have any roots because I'm always scared I'm going to rot them before they get any. So that it is a concern for me. And I did purchase from this particular buyer because she did have rooted cuttings. So that to me is that matters. Overall, though, I'm quite pleased with the purchase. The package was shipped promptly. The plant seems to be in good condition, so I have high expectations, and I would purchase from this seller again. I feel like I received a good value for my money. More of a concern are these desert rose plants. The caudex of both of them are extremely spongy, which could just be dehydration. But then on the one, I see a darker spot. So I did contact the seller, and she wasn't the most pleasant to deal with. I'm just going to leave it at that. I like to deal with sellers who, if there's an issue or a concern, they try to work with you, offer replacement, whatever. I have no problem waiting until I, plant this up, see if it's going to hydrate, and make sure that there's no rot issue in this one spot. But this seller was not open to anything. I've been an online seller before, so I know how difficult it can get sometimes dealing with customers, and there are some customers who are not going to be honest with you. But you have to offer some kind of customer service and at least be pleasant towards your customers, and I did not get any of that from this seller. My purpose is not to ruin anyone's business, so I'm not going to mention this seller's name, but I am going to tell my viewers, if you're buying Adenium arabicum on eBay, you do need to be careful. Always make sure you check your plant's roots, check it for firmness, and check it for dark spots that are softer than everywhere else, because it could be an indication of rot. And there you have it for my plant purchases on eBay and Etsy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.